Right. So, see, Caleb's back. Welcome back. My first time seeing you. Caleb was at our first ever, I think, our first ever Young Family Minion, like this new round of it, right? So, I was looking just through my emails, things I wrote on Parshat Shelach, and I went and I found an old email, which is an email announcing the first time we're ever meeting for the Young Family Minion, like post-COVID. So we started a Young Family Minion here, Parshat Shelach last year, this time. And I saw my notes from what I shared. So basically it started out as like a Musaf minion where families would come just for Musaf. We have toys out, it's like low key. And we just want to we experiment. And there were like a lot of people kind of just like wandering during COVID and they were looking for a home. And a lot of them started to come here and we started to build it up. And we shifted from Musaf to Shacharis, we added Kriyas Torah. We were nervous about that. Like, will they still come for longer davening? Baruch Hashem, it's like really been a big success. So the Dvar Torah I shared at that minyan, I'll share with you, connect to this and share like why I think it helped and why I think it worked and like connected to our minyan. All in like 2 minutes, don't worry. So there's a lot of discussion of what the sin of the spies was. A lot of discussion, maybe you've heard many explanations. The explanation I provided at that time was that the spies gave a bad report about Eretz Yisrael, and the punishment was 40 years of wandering in the desert. What was their sin? They were important, prominent people. What led them to sin like this? So an explanation I offer was that they were used to the intimacy, kind of like a positive spin. They were used to the intimacy of the desert. What do you do? What do they do all day? And they're with their family. Spend time with your family. You don't have to work. You don't have to go. You don't have to invest in real estate. You don't have to follow the stock market. You don't have to go to the doctor. Everything's provided for you. It's intimate. You're with your family, with your loved ones. You have time to spend with people. You have quality time. Perhaps they were afraid to shift to Eretz Yisrael where there's so many more obligations, so many things to do. You have real estate, you have territory, you have government, you have the army. So many involvement distractions. They were afraid they wouldn't find that same intimacy with their loved ones, with their family. And that was a mistake because Hashem can do anything. And really, it might take more work. But that's the highest level, to have connections to the outer world, but still retain your intimacy at home. So I shared that with them. I said, listen, a lot of you have come to our minyan. You are leaving your intimate homes. Like people were davening at the time, backyard minyans. Hopefully, like I was like, that was the higher level. Most of them probably weren't davening in minyan or just davening at home. I said, you left your intimate homes and you came into our minyan. I want you to know that our minyan doesn't have to only, shul and minyan do not have to be a place that's not intimate, right? And so that was my challenge to them, is to try to create a prayer space, a place in shul that will be intimate, where people come in and they feel at home and comfortable. And we've put a lot of effort into that over the last year, many different ways in the Young Family Minyan. It's like create an environment where if you ever see anybody new, we have like different welcome committee members who are kind of like lurking, and sometimes we'll give them a heads up who's coming, and they'll approach people. And when people come, they feel a sense of like intimacy, connection. That's very, very valuable, especially for those individuals, like the younger crew. So like this Young Family Meeting is kind of like a microcosm of what we want to do on the broader level, to make our shul much more as intimate as it can be, to draw in people, to make them feel at home and warm here. So when they leave their home, it's not like they're leaving their home to a big Eretz Yisrael, a big shul. It's overwhelming. We want to be as intimate, as connected as possible. So that's what we want to do for the overall shul. But like I would say to us as as regular shul goers, it's something to think about. Like we should all, I think, put a little bit more effort into that if we can. If you see new people at shul, it's scary to come to a big shul like this. It's understandable why, like the spies did not want to go into the big land. It talked about giants. Maybe they were giants. Maybe they view them as giants. Nice people come here and our shul is like, it's gigantic and really is kind of big, right? So whatever we can do, all of us, I'm serious about this. You can find, if you see somebody walking around, they don't know where they're going, or they just look new, they look confused. Like if you can approach them and just connect with them, that like connection can really change things and really make people feel like they're not just intimate, find intimacy at home, but also in the shul.